I, 22F, am developing really intense feelings for a guy, 24M, who is either giving me mixed signals or, the more probable thing, only sees me as a friend, and I hate how confused and heartbroken I am. Too long didn't read, at the bottom. This guy and I have enrolled in a master's program at university. We have only ever interacted online, but have become really good friends. We have these academic co-reading sessions together every night and a non-academic co-reading session during weekends, on Google Meet. Now, I have had a huge crush on him from the very beginning, but now that we are spending all this time together and I am getting to know him better, my feelings for him are only getting stronger. Think about him all day and really look forward to our co-reading sessions every night. While he has also opened up to me a lot and is comfortable with me, I still feel that there is no way he would ever be interested in anything romantic. But sometimes, I am so confused about the things he does. For instance, for the past 2 weeks, we have just been falling asleep together while on the call. As in, after we are done studying, it's usually really late, like past 3 AM, he just gets ready to go to bed while still on the call with me and then even falls asleep. And whoever wakes up first, quietly hangs up the call in the morning. Now, this isn't something you would do with just any person you have barely known for months, right? He also tells me about everything that keeps happening in his life. From talking about a fruit fly infestation in his kitchen to what his therapist has asked him to do this week. All this stuff gives me this stupid and false hope that maybe there is a chance that he could be interested in something romantic. But then again, he talks about his dating life too. He talks to me about how he is going to start looking for dates and people to cuddle with on Bumble, Tinder or OkCupid. He discusses girls or women he finds interesting sometimes and tells me those stories too. Now this makes me think that I am just a friend to him and nothing more. Honestly, the latter is okay too, because he is way out of my league anyway, because I really do enjoy his company and admire him even as a friend. I feel really pathetic because I do want to enjoy his company and be a good friend without expecting and hoping for anything in return, and yet I can't. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get over him. I know everyone would suggest that I distance myself from him, but I can't and I don't want to. I love talking to him and listening to him. I just feel really stupid and pathetic and don't know what to do. Someone please tell me what to do. Too long didn't read. My crush and I talk on the phone every day and that's making my feelings for him deeper, but I don't think he will ever be interested in me romantically. I want to get over my feelings. What do I do? Okay, well, you haven't brought it up. They can't read minds. Was in a similar situation. I had a friend who we hung out a lot. We went to the movies, talked and hung out in his room. Others thought we were dating. I also developed huge crush on him and I just kept waiting and waiting for him to make a move. But I realized that that's no way to take charge of my life. I ended up telling him that I really liked him and that I would be interested in dating. It was scary, but honestly I'm so fucking glad I did it. He ended up not feeling that way. Stung, but honestly I haven't regretted telling him for 1 second. After that I learned to cut the bull and be clear and honest about my feelings with men, and eventually I found the perfect one for me. There's no shame in expressing yourself and going for it. He might think of you the same way. Maybe he thinks you are out of his league. Or he simply thinks you just want to be friends. Some guys really are that thick. My boyfriend actually had a girl sleeping in his bed, before we met, only to realize years later that maybe she wanted to do something else than sleeping. I don't know the guy, so maybe he does want to be just friends, but sleeping like that means you are really dear to him. Try taking the first step yourself and go from there. Most guys respect girls for having the balls to take the first step, even if the feelings aren't mutual. I think he definitely thinks of you as internet friend, but that doesn't automatically rule out something happening IRL. You can't really get a proper read on it. I agree he is sending kind of mixed signals, because some of that is regular friend stuff and some of that is a bit more intense. Can you meet up IRL, or is not possible due to COVID? Think you should talk it out with him in person. If he's not interested, it doesn't mean you can't be friends, because you obviously enjoy being his friend anyway. Never have I ever fallen asleep on the phone as a regular thing with just a friend. He talks about his dating life too. He talks to me about how he is going to start looking for dates and people to cuddle with on Bumble, Tinder or OkCupid. He's telling you he's single. Dude, ask him out. Ask him out, ask him out, ask him out. Or ask him out, given COVID restrictions. I really wish I'd asked more of my crushes out when I was your age. When I did ask them out it felt amazing, even when the answer was no. He could say yes. We can't tell from reading your post if he likes you, only he knows that. Some of the crushes I didn't ask out did in fact like me, even though I thought they didn't. Imagine finding out 10 years from now that he actually liked you. If he says no, I 100% promise you won't be going, damn, too bad I messed up my painfully ambiguous friendship with a guy who I now know for sure doesn't like me. If only I could time travel back to yesterday when I was posting on Reddit with words like heartbroken and confused. You'll be happy to know, and it will make it easier to move on. Ask him out. I, 22F, started sleeping with my roommate, 27M. His girlfriend is jealous and directing all her anger at me. I don't know what to do, so this is going to be confusing. Sorry about that. A few months ago I moved in a new apartment. I share the place with 3 different people, 2 guys and 1 girl. I didn't know any of them and I couldn't afford getting my own apartment. So soon after moving in I started randomly sleeping with one roommate, A. He is single and we've become quite close. I guess we are friends with benefits. He just comes in my room and we have sex. Then the other roommate started noticing this and made a few jokes comments. I told him if he wants to he can do the same because why not? I didn't ask if he had a girlfriend but I assumed if he did he would tell me. Anyways, after a few weeks of starting this thing where I sleep with my 2 male roommates, the girl starts getting hostile at me. And I didn't understand why. Turns out B had a girlfriend and I didn't know, and none told me. The girl roommate decided to call the girlfriend of B to come while we were having sex in my room. By the time she was at our place each one of us was at their own room, but she still confronted her boyfriend. And then she called me A and blamed me for everything. But not even a week later they are back together and pretending nothing happened. While the girlfriend has been directing all the anger at me, she keeps making rude comments. I tried telling her that I didn't know B had a boyfriend and that I'm sorry. She doesn't want to listen. It's making things difficult for me because she started spending a lot of time in our apartment. I started avoiding going to the living room while she's in there. I have a good friendship with A and we've been talking with the girl roommate and we solved things. She said she was mad seeing B cheating on his girlfriend but she should have told me and I would have stopped instead of creating this situation. B is in a neutral place. He doesn't dislike me and instead talks to me like nothing happened. Should I move out? I feel like I'm making things too difficult. I like my apartment, it's close to my university and workplace, and it's cheap. But I don't know if it's worth it with all the drama. And I don't know how I should handle the girlfriend situation. At first I was trying to be understanding, and accept the blame and don't say anything after she made those rude comments. Now I avoid her. But clearly the passive attitude hasn't helped me. And I'm not sure what attitude or what could I say to make things better. Or maybe there's no way of making things easier. I'm lost and I don't know what to do. Too long didn't read. I started having sex with my 2 roommates. One of them has a girlfriend. The girlfriend found out what we were doing. She has forgiven the boyfriend but is directing her anger at me. What should I do? In the future don't shit where you eat, or you'll just end up in this situation again. The girlfriend should be blaming the boyfriend though. Move out and for God's sake stop sleeping with your roommates. Sleeping with roommates is nearly always an invitation for trouble. People get jealous, mismatched feelings develop, the household gets tense, someone ends up needing to leave. Lesson learned, I hope. This girlfriend is never going to like you. You fucked her boyfriend, remember? She doesn't care that no one told you they were dating, and likely doesn't believe it anyway. And B, I guarantee, came up with a way to shift the majority of the blame onto you to save himself. If you want a household that isn't chilly and awkward, you're going to have to be the one to move out. The well is poisoned. It's on the boyfriend, he's a loser and she should dump him and you should shed him too. But maybe ask people before you sleep with them to avoid the drama. And this drama will not go away until they do. My only question to you is, does this type of drama happen to you a lot? If it does, maybe rethink who you're sleeping with. If this is a one-off, well, things happen, move on. Of course she's mad at you. Her boyfriend is cheating on her with the person he lives with. She should be breaking up with him, but she's not, and so she's redirecting her anger the only direction she can while maintaining the delusion they're going to work through this. Honestly, things can't get much worse, so I advocate for you to stand up for yourself. Time to wear the same grown-up pants you wore, figuratively, when you decided to cavalierly have sex with your roommates when they ask. Not saying you shouldn't have sex, but it is a more weighted decision. For what it's worth, you should probably start taking sexual relationships more seriously and know they are not going to be appropriate everywhere, like your living situation. She says rude things to you, so fire back. Your boyfriend lied to me and never brought you up when he agreed to have sex with me. Are you telling me that's my fault? And if she won't stop, then you have a roommate meeting where he either gets his shit under control or she stops coming over to make you miserable in your own home. My 26F, X, 26M, reached out to me about getting back together. My ex reached out to me yesterday asking if I would be interested in getting back together. He said he heard from a mutual friend how social and outgoing I became after the breakup, while being socially distant of course. The main reasons for the breakup were that we didn't put enough emphasis on having fun and being social. At the time I had a very introverted lifestyle which in the beginning he said he was okay with but changed his mind, and I didn't know it bothered him until he dumped me. I was very much in the honeymoon phase with him and put too much focus on the physical aspects of the relationship because of that. Also in the past it was my assumption that I wouldn't have fun in social situations that held me back, though it was the fact that he doubted I could ever change my lifestyle that actually helped me to be more social and outgoing, because it made me question myself and be more open-minded. There were a ton of red flags in the relationship I overlooked. For example, he had trouble respecting boundaries. For example, one time he performed oral sex though I told him no and wasn't apologetic about it. He likely hit me another time and even time me at one point. He likes to push boundaries so he knows who his real friends are. Bad communication skills. He never had a problem with lying to me and won't be open about stuff unless he's nudged. He says he's gotten better with this, but who knows. Didn't do what he said he would do and changed his mind frequently. For example, he said he would send me more Snapchats when we were together but never did. Was very dismissive of my feelings at times. For example, at the end I kept telling him I was trying to change my lifestyle and giving him examples, like I was trying to go to meetup groups and actively trying to make new friends, but he never believed me and thought I couldn't do it. I never felt like my voice was heard in the relationship. He frequently made false assumptions. For example, he felt I didn't like playing board games because we would usually play only for a few rounds, but that was not the case at all. Expected me to read his mind and automatically know things. For example, towards the end in our free time we would play Tetris a lot since I saw his friends playing it at a party and thought it looked fun. However, I had no idea he didn't want to play it as much as we did because he never said anything. He had a very bizarre lack of interest in my life. He would occasionally ask questions but most of the time he didn't, and it felt like stuff I said went in one ear and out the other. When he couldn't think of conversation topics he would make up these alter egos. For example, he would pretend to be a surfer dude who drugged underage girls, a Satanist who kidnapped and stabbed people, and a drug dealer who ran people over. I feel kind of conflicted about this. On one hand, I want a guy who has good communication skills, is understanding, thinks the best of me, is willing to work as a team to solve problems, and someone who I can count on. I don't know if my ex is capable of being the guy I want him to be. On the other hand, I've always believed in him even though he hasn't always believed in me, and who knows, maybe he can change. What should I do? Told him I would consider it. Too long didn't read. Ex wants to get back together, though he was a bad boyfriend when we were together. I'm not sure if I should give him another chance or not.